AskReddit by the Ponner Boy Curtis. What seems like snake oil but is actually 100% legit. WD-40 cleans candle wax off your living room carpet. If ever in doubt, consult an old housewife. Be careful with this if you have pets. I know cats in particular like the taste of it and it is very toxic to them. I had a weird smelling basement. Someone said to get aromatic cedar blocks, sand them down and leave them there. I thought, no way this could work. But it did. The smell is totally eliminated. Wait. I need more information. How many blocks? How much did you send them down? The whole hold your breath to get rid of hiccups trick. Thing is, most people just don't know the proper way to do it or why it works. It's got nothing to do with simply holding your breath. It's got to do with using your lungs to hold down the diaphragm and stop it from spasming. You breathe in until you cannot fit literally anything else into your lungs. When your chest is as full as humanly possible, then you hold it and within about 15 seconds the hiccups are gone. So that's why it works sometimes and not others. Vinegar and newspaper to clean windows. I thought the ink would come off and make an even bigger mess. Almost turned the window invisible. You can also use coffee filters. Taking magnesium. It really can cure some joint, nerve, muscle, heart and breathing problems. Of course, the only one it can cure are ones that are caused by a magnesium deficiency, which a surprising number of people have. Some life events that can rapidly use up magnesium in the body are pregnancy, surgery, viral illness and major period of stress. Helps with constipation as well. Not like a laxative that relieves constipation, but as a preventative measure. You'll shit like a champ if you take it daily. I was suffering with plantar fasciitis for over 6 months. I tried new shoes, new insoles, pills, and physical therapy, but none of those things fixed it. A friend kept suggesting I try these gel toe separator things like they wear when painting toenails. I thought it was silly, but they were only $10 on Amazon. What do I have to lose? I wore the neon blue gel thing at night feeling very silly. After the first night my foot hurt like hell, but after the second it felt a whole lot better. I wore it for 2 weeks straight and plantar fasciitis was gone. Those things were like magic. The toe spacers are stretching out your tendons in the feet, therefore reducing the tightness that causes plantar fasciitis. Another thing that should help is putting something like a tennis ball underneath your foot and rolling it around. The Epley maneuver for vertigo. https://www.hopkinsmedicine.org/health/treatment-tests-and-maneuver. Sitting on your deck in summer, or are you having a nice picnic when suddenly you're being accosted by the hellspawn known as wasps? Get rid of them with this one easy solution: burn some coffee. Burn coffee? I hear you say incredulously. Yes, burn coffee. Take a little saucer, pour a little pyramid of ground coffee on in and use a lighter to light the top. It will smolder slowly and give off a smoke that smells, well, like burnt coffee. It will also instantly get rid of any wasps that are bothering you. No idea why, they absolutely hate the smell. Some people also dislike the smell of the burning coffee. I understand this. But ask yourself this important question while the smell is annoying you: what do you dislike more, wasps or the smell of burning coffee? I know what I would pick. Deleted. Meditation. When I was an alcoholic and drug abuser, my friend used to tell me about meditation to help with anxiety and stress. I thought, bitch, we use Xanax around here. No one's got time to meditate. We no longer use Xanax and have the time to meditate. Facts. Combat veteran here with depression and PTSD. Transcendental meditation, TM, changed the trajectory of my life. Hopping on the opposite leg when you have water in your rear after swimming works every damn time. As a swim instructor I get water in my ear all the time. I will be trying this. Rain-X and bidet attachments. Not at the same time though. Rain-X. Apply directly to your asshole. Rain-X. Apply directly to your asshole. Rain-X. Apply directly to your asshole. Huffing isopropyl alcohol wipes for nausea. And there is no negative side effect at all. You can smell it as much as you want and it's fine. Supposedly rubbing alcohol is better for nausea than most other medicines designed specifically for it, and we're not sure why. Salt water swish and gargle for toothache and sore throat, as long as it's not something like strep. Source: currently have strep and ain't nothing working. Otherwise even the dentist tells me to salt water swish if I get tooth pain or something stuck. Total relief. I'm a once a year strep throat sufferer. For a severe sore throat, my doctor told me to mix a 1-stroke 2-cup Mylanta, kept in the fridge, with a tablespoon of Benadryl. Gargle every few hours. The cold Mylanta cools and soothes and the Benadryl reduces inflammation. She said salt water only dries the throat out more and creates more pain. Works wonderfully. Vitamin D supplements. It's much more important than any of us realized. I started doing this a few years ago and it's not straight up noticeable right away, but hot damn, even a couple months into that first winter I was like, how I don't have that soul crushing gloom like I usually do this time of year. Vitamin D supplementation or going out and getting natural sunlight for mood stability and depression. I was super close to going on antidepressants, but it turned out I just had really low vitamin D levels. I had mood confidence swings throughout the day that were a lot. I felt like it was a very mild version of bipolar, which didn't make any sense because it doesn't manifest midlife, and I didn't have any symptoms before. Yoga. I have severe upper back pain and went to months of physical therapy. I couldn't keep up with the millions of appointments and started on yoga as a way to stretch my upper back instead. I was doing it for 30 minutes each day and forgot that I had pain. It's so annoying that it does what people say it does, because this whole time I thought they were just being annoying, but they're 100% right. There's an app that is called Down Dog Yoga. It's a blue dog as the logo. That's the app I really enjoy. You can customize time and focus areas so you can fit things in when you have time. Yoga is amazing. I started doing it and now when I stop my body hurts. So, I agree with everything you said 100%. Does a dog thundershot count? Had an anxious dog with Storm's loud noises, got him one, and while not perfect, he did seem to calm down with it on more often than not. Not saying it does not work in all cases, but my dog didn't respond well. Then she would just get nervous when I brought out the jacket. Hounds can be difficult. Retinol. One of the few ingredients in cosmetics that is actually scientifically proven to work. You do need to get the good stuff. Depending on your country you might actually have to get a doctor's note to get the high concentration product, but it does improve your skin. Retinol is quite weak. Tretinoin goated. If you have a fireplace with a glass door, wet some paper towel and dip it in the wood ash. Then wipe it liberally onto the glass so everything has a thin amount of ash paste on it, then scrub it and wipe it clean with another wet paper towel. Rinse and repeat for dirtier sections. My wife and I spent hours trying to clean it before with detergents, vinegar, etc. But this had it completely cleaned and crystal clear in maybe 10 minutes. Exercises that use just your body weight, like push-ups, body weight squats, stuff like that, can legit be done in place of weight training if you're not just trying to get large. And you can do them almost anywhere at any time. It's great to take a break and just do 5 push-ups or 10 squats. You don't get sweaty doing just a few, and if you do them every hour it adds up. Hot water, baking soda, and aluminum foil to clean tarnished silver. I was amazed when I dropped in a piece and watched the tarnish disappear almost instantly. Jewelry school student here. Be careful with a baking soda in the foil as it will really scratch the surface. A quick and easy way to clean tarnish at home is to boil water with vinegar in it, tiny bit of salt and drop the silver in it. To polish it at home you can use those 4-way nail file things, the shiny side, or even a piece of suede or felt cloth. Be careful with the abrasives or your lovely silver will get tiny marks which will make the next tarnish. It always happens over time, even worse because the oxides build up in the scratches. Popping a bit of beeswax over the silver will slow down the tarnishing also. Sorry if this was annoyingly long, just thought I'd share my learnings. Actual snake oil, https://pharmaceutical-journal.com/article/the-history-of-snake-oil. One summer in Houston I developed what I thought was a heat rash, and was working nights in a kitchen. I tried doctors, steroids, antibiotics, had some biopsies done, nothing helped. Was in Hong Kong market looking for some tea when an elder randomly poked me and asked me if it hurt. I almost told him off, but thought what the hell, no one else can figure it out. He told me to take 5 of these pills 3 times a day. Pills were called tree snake, had dried and ground snakes in pill form. Cleared it up in less than 36 hours. Turns out I had iodine poisoning. EMDR therapy for PTSD. Sounds like total bullshit and it actually works. Also for more complex subconscious memories like early childhood core memories, there are reprogramming methods to change those entirely as well, but these require a lot more work with a specialized psychotherapist. The human mind is highly pliable. The negative experiences of our past can be molded like putty into a new positive experience. EMDR works, but it's the mainstream theory on why it's working that lacks scientific validation. I'm going to collect more data on this, but personally for me, when I feel that scratchy feeling in my throat, I drink a very small amount of Everclear and avoid the week or 2 of coughing. It's worked 19 out of 19 times. Checks out to me. My grandpa's go-to cold flu remedy was a tablespoon of brandy and then drink a cup of tea with lots of honey. He grew up as an Irish immigrant during the Depression, so it was probably what he was given in lieu of actual medicine. I have POTS, and the fact that the main treatment is salt is still mind-blowing. Just salt. A buttload of salt and compression. I have serious, lifelong, horrible insomnia. I've tried every non-narcotic, and some narcotic, sleep aid you can imagine. Melatonin is spotty and only works in the right conditions, makes me so groggy for 24 hours. Benadryl is pretty terrible for you long term, etc, etc, etc. I tried valerian tea and it tasted like socks and did nothing. Then I learned that valerian takes a high dose to be effective, so I tried it in pills, and it seemed to help, but it gave me a stomachache. Then a friend created a high dose valerian tincture for me. I swear on everything a dropper of that under the tongue for 2 minutes has almost the exact benefits as taking as an axe. You can properly feel it kicking in and you just drift off to sleep. There's a reason they call it nature's Valium. Valerian is a very effective anxiolytic and sleep aid, and it's cheap and legal everywhere. Applying apple vinegar to skin tags will result in them falling off in a couple of days. And X200B. The pain of a migraine can be drastically reduced by sitting down in the shower in the dark and letting warm water fall directly on your head. Wait. Tell me more about the skin tag trick. I have one I'd love to try this on and don't wanna go back to the doc. And I'm too much of a weenie to tie it off with dental floss. Sauna cold plunge rounds. Best antidepressant, mood modulation, mental clarity, purpose-driven life, anti-suicide, glad to be alive thing I've ever discovered. Was first shown it when I was hitchhiking through Wyoming in the mid-70s and got picked up by a guy in a truck who was going to hot springs about 20 minutes down the road. I'd never been to one before, so I went with him. We'd soak in the water until super hot, then jump into the stream, It was November and there was ice along the shore, counting until 60 seconds, then back into the super hot water. We'd do this 3-4 times. I simply couldn't believe the internal chemical changes I felt going through my body and my mind. I'd simply never felt that good, or alive before. It became a lifelong obsession to find ways of doing this. I have always built a sauna and cold plunge in every home I've had ever since. I forgot what it was called, but I couldn't believe it actually worked. My grandmother would buy some cheap medicine from some small and frankly cheap looking stores. One was some sort of paste-like medicine that was purple and smelled kind of funny. When I was young, my brother accidentally slammed a door into my toenail, nearly breaking the whole thing off and splitting it in two. My grandmother then comes back to my family's apartment and puts on the purple medicine on my toe. No joke when I say it healed in what, 3 to 5 days I think. Anyways, my toenail is then fully healed, no pain or problems years after the accident. Too bad she didn't have that stuff on her when I ended breaking my other toenail. I think the name of the stuff is gentian violet. This has been the most fascinating thread I've read on Reddit in a long time. Epsom salt baths. They rapidly help recovery, and I don't know why I ever believed people saying it's an old wives' tale. During the pandemic I rode my bike 150 plus miles a week. Each day I'd do an Epsom soak for 15 minutes and I'd be good to go the next day. Honorable second mention. Wim Hof method. Ice baths suck ass. But they do your body wonders. I couldn't get used to it, and bitched every time. But damn it, do they help recovery time. This right here. Ultra marathon runner. Converted a chest freezer into an ice bath. Soak in that every morning after my run. Soak in a warm Epsom salt bath in the tub every night. Feel better at 34 than I did at 24. Fun fact. The original snake oil was legit. Oil from Chinese water snakes has for centuries been used in Chinese traditional medicine to treat joint pain such as arthritis and bursitis. It has been suggested that the use of snake oil in the United States may have originated with Chinese railway laborers in the mid-19th century, who worked long days of physical toil. Chinese snake oil may have had real benefits due to its high concentration of the omega-3 fatty acid eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, more than that of salmon. The rattlesnake oil later sold by charlatans did not contain a significant amount of omega-3. White people, especially at medicine shows, would try to recreate these recipes with local snakes who didn't have these properties, hence it didn't work, and snake oil's reputation for being a ripoff. I had a couple mouth surgeries and was told putting a tea bag in my mouth would stop the bleeding. Bled non-stop till I had a brew going on in my mouth. Yes, I had a tooth pulled that wouldn't clot. Called the dentist after quite a bit of blood loss and he told me to get a black tea bag wet and hold it there. Stopped in a few minutes. Bluetooth. Wizardry if you ask me. Oh, 100%. I have no idea how Bluetooth works and nobody better reply to me with an answer because I like the magic of it. Weighted blankets. My partner has anxiety disorder. I don't, so I bought one for her as a gift while we lived apart. I didn't think they would make any difference to me. She moved in, and I slept under it for the first time. I can't get a good night of sleep without it now. It's literally a 10x improvement to my sleep, and I discounted it because I thought it wouldn't do anything. I guess you could say I slept on it for too long. How effective medical cannabis is on Parkinson's and MS. You watch the videos and the effects are like the patients are paid actors before. But it's real, and it works. In some MS and Parkinson's patients it doesn't work at all, in others it's almost a miraculous cure. I would say it's potent enough to let any Parkinson's patient try and see if they are part of the It Helps group. Tiger Balm. I use Indian Tiger Balm and let me tell you that thing has magic in it. I use it for any kind of pain. Lately it has been migraines. I put it on my forehead, around my nose and back of the neck. Cleared the next day. It's boohoo's. but damn it if it works. Have a headache? Do a headstand. Although I can't, I lie upside down on a couch or a bed, with chest elevated above head. How does it work? For most headaches, the blood vessels in your brain are temporarily too big. Laying upside down and taking deep breaths, gradually righting yourself, invokes the body's natural orthostatic response, shrinking the blood vessels. Some people drink caffeine for the same effect. There are so many comments, so I know this will never be seen, but in case someone googles it. It's actually true that fennel seeds will almost immediately reduce gas or bloating. Buy it in the grocery store where they sell spices. About 15 seeds or the size of a dime is all it takes. This sounds insane, but it's the only thing that could help my stomach when I worked a high stress, high anxiety job. I never ate because of it, but my stomach would just fill up with air. At any rate, my anxious stomach couldn't live without this. That liquid IV stuff, it's legit. It will give you a lot of electrolytes, probably way more than an average person ever takes. Lol, is it some sort of super energy drink or something? Nah, but if you are working out or doing some sort of a sport or a physical activity, it really does help you stay hydrated better. I personally think it's better than things like Gatorade. Thought you were talking about actual IV infusions before reading the comments. I have a monthly medication that has to be administered IV at an infusion center, but I've also noticed that they sell various vitamins and mineral cocktails administered IV. Often wondered if those are worthwhile, but I guess that's not what you were talking about. The new electric shock bands as treatment for travel sickness. I have severe travel sickness. Have had to call an ambulance before, get sick in some kinds of building. Yes, even if I am the one driving kind of travel sickness. I have tried every possible solution to this crap. A couple of years ago I found out about the electric shock bands. The acupressure bands have always actually made me feel worse, so I was skeptical, but I took a risk. They are straight up miraculous. For example, my wife doesn't drive and her family live 3 hours away. Going to see them used to entail me taking medication and going immediately to bed on arrival and still feeling ill the next day. Now if I remember to keep the band on during the journey and for like an hour or so after the journey, the effects are minimized so much it's more like a mild headache. Also in this category, travel sickness glasses. They look ridiculous, but they do have an effect. Not gonna stop you being sick, but they help a little. Placebos are shockingly effective. Not great, but larger than zero. Herbal teas for ailments. I get very bad panic attacks, but drinking hot chamomile tea actually brings me back down when one tries to start. By the end of drinking a full cup of chamomile tea, my panic attack is gone. Peppermint tea is really good for menstrual or any sort of muscle cramps. I have endometriosis and adenomyosis and it works as well as an Advil for me. Peppermint tea also helps you sleep because it's a muscle relaxant. Glucosamine supplement is my answer. I know the jury is still out on whether or not it actually helps with joint health, but I swear by it. One of my knees used to fatigue and ache super fast when I go out for a run, but after taking this stuff daily for a couple months it's so much better. Still sometimes I get some aches on runs. It isn't a miracle cure, but it's so much better than it was before. My parents had a Rottweiler with some sort of hip joint issue when I was growing up. He would whine trying to stand. Our friend told us about these glucosamine drinks and I swear after starting them he didn't whine anymore and didn't seem to be in any pain. It was magic for him. Magic eraser. Also don't buy the MR Clean ones, they are just repackaged melamine sponges which you can get in bulk on Amazon for dirt cheap. I think I got 50 for $11 last time. Wearing sunscreen SPF every day is the simplest, cheapest and very effective anti-aging. Yet a lot of people still ignore, prefer overpriced overrated cream, facelift and some invasive surgery. I once saw a commercial showing someone who wore sunscreen every day for years vs someone who didn't. The difference looked fake. Literally the next week, as I worked at a convenience store, I eyed a beautiful sub 30-year-old woman for alcohol who ended up being like 47. I asked if she wore sunscreen, and she said every day of her life. Vinegar cleans fucking everything. If you have hiccups, just remind yourself you're not a fish. It'll fix your hiccups. I'm not even joking. This worked the first 5-10 times, but now it doesn't. There's me standing in a shop crying I'm not a fish while hiccuping madly. Am I a fish? Aloe vera for burns and skin conditions. Also, ginseng. MSG is great.